Okay, so what I want to do. So I want to do a stretchy spine. And so let's see, the first things I'm going to need, let's do the panels, layouts, two panes side by side. And I'll make this one the front. I'll make this one the perspective. Great. Okay, and I'm going to grab myself some joints. Let's go get some joints rigging. And I'm going to go into skeleton, create joints. And I'm going to hold down X. And these are hard to see. Let's put in, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There, right. I'll hit enter. And freaking hell. When I did that, when I held down X, it locked on my freaking snapping thing, and so that means it's not snapping. I don't know why the hell that happens. It drives me kind of nuts, though. And I just did it again. So it's backspace, backspace, and I guess it's just on. And there, and maybe there. I'll hit enter. Right. Can't see my joints. I'm just going to go here to display, animation, joint size. Boop. There we go. We got joints. Got big joints. Yeah, big joints. And then, what do I need? I need some cubes. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create polygon cubes. And these are really just for display purposes. So you can see what the hell I'm doing. Let's turn off that freaking snap to grid. DV, bloop, move the pivot point down here, hold down V, and I'm going to put that one there. Make a duplicate, hold down V, and I think I can actually shifty there. Okay, and what else do I need? I'm going to do something tricky here. These boxes we're going to delete later, okay? So I'm just parenting these in so you can see what the hell I'm going to do, and I'm going to delete them afterwards, because otherwise it's kind of hard to see the spine twist. That's why the cubes are handy. Okay, so did all that. Cool. Now, what do I need? Curve box. So there's one curve box. Make a duplicate. Hold down V. And this is just a curve that I've made that looks like a cube. That's it. Let's call this, say, hip underscore control. And this one will be my shoulder underscore control. And you can name these whatever the hell you want. Doesn't matter to me. Let's just hit 4. Okay, so now I've got everything kind of set into place. Now I'm going to go into my skeleton, and I'm looking skeleton menu, that is, and create IK spline handle. And let's reset the tool. I'm going to turn off auto parent curve. Okay, great. And then I'm going to click on the top joint and the bottom joint. You can click on the bottom joint and then the top one. Do whatever you want. You can do it whichever order, but you got to click on the bottom one, you got to click on the top one. Doesn't matter which order you do it in. There. And I'm just checking this out in my hypergraph. And remember, when you look at my nodes here, I've always got display, shape, hidden, underworld nodes on. So that's why the curve looks like it's grouped. It's just there's the transform node, there's the shape node. And this curve, let's just give this a name really quick so that we don't get confused. I get confused sometimes when things have the same names or similar names. Okay, and remember this curve is manipulating the spine. Now, to manipulate this curve, okay, what we want is a couple more joints. Give me a joint. Yeah, like that. Okay, so I popped a joint in here. And I'm just going to make it bigger so it's easier to see. I'm just using the radius to make it larger. And let's go and pop that one here, make a duplicate, and I'm going to hold down V and I'm going to pop that one there. Okay, great. And then what I can do with these two joints is I can go in and I can bind this curve to it. So these joints will deform this curve. So if I go to skin, bind skin, and I do selected joints, closest in distance, interactives on, distance. Anything else I got to worry about in here? I don't think so. Let's see what happens. Bind skin. So now when I grab this joint, okay, it's moving this thing around. And if I rotator it, yay, it's rotating. Okay, and I'm just going to grab this joint, and I'm going to make sure that this C box, my shoulder control here, is parent constraining the joint. So I'm going to use the parent constraint, boom, grab this, grab that, and just hit G, that repeats the last tool command. Okay, so now this thing will move the joint and it will rotate it. We got another problem. The curve is not stretching and it's not deforming the joints. So what we need to do is we need to be able to determine the length of the curve. And currently, you get nothing like that in here. I don't know why it's not defaulted in here, but it's not. You have to go in here and type in arc len. I'm down in the bottom in the script editor, down here, the mail script, -ch space 1, and I hit enter, and boom! You can see it over here in the back curve. You can see something that says curve info node, and if I look around here, there's something telling me the curve info node, so it's telling me the length of that curve. Okay, now we have to do some math. Well, not really. Kind of math, but whatever. And you'll see that if I go in here and I grab this controller and I stretch it, and then I go back over here to the back curve and I find curve info node, it's now got a different length. Okay, so it's measuring the length constantly. I'm just going to put that back. And now what I want to do is I want to make it so that curve, the information from that curve, feeds into the joints and makes them scale. It's just in the x-axis. So if I go into Windows, General Editors, actually, you know what, I haven't done this for so long. I need the node editor, I guess. I used to always do this in the Hypershade. But in my node editor, let's go and grab the back curve. Okay, and I can bring that in. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay, so my back curve is right over here. There's my curve info node that I need. And then if I go in here, and what if I type in tab, and I look for a multiply divide node? Multiply divide! And I hit enter. Okay. So, now, over here, what we got to do is we already know that the length is actually 120. 120. And operation multiply, we're going to change that to divide. And then we want to plug into input 1, we want to plug in the arc length. Bloop. Bloop. There it is. Boom, boom. So now we've got this, which is creating a mathematical equation, which will, if we divide the one into the other, we end up getting a percentage. And now, if we were to grab you by the joints. Okay, so I go in here and I'm going to grab my joints. Don't grab the last one, joint 7. Okay, you only want these ones here. Leave joint 7 alone. And I'm going to grab the multiply divide node. Oh crap, I held down shift. So if I grab this and then I hold down control shift. This is what happens when freaking Autodesk gets a hold of your favorite program. And then this one here is bloop. Is that going to show me all my nodes that I want? No. There's all my joints. Okay, and there's my multiply divide. Okay. Why are they're just all so spread out. More crap I hate. I want them close together so it's easy to see. And actually I should also be wary because this thing keeps twitching and moving this around. Okay, I don't want that one to be used. Again, it's automatically twitching and that drives me nuts. So, what are we at? The 9-minute mark. Okay, cool. Last thing I need to do is I need to find the connection editor. So if I go into... Actually, I wonder if there's a way I can do this faster here. So if I take this and I go like this, and I go output X, and I go into the joints and I look at scale X. Actually, output. Come on, you bastard. That's not what I asked you to do. Okay. It's gonna let me hook up multiples? Or is it gonna freak out? Actually, it seems to be reasonable. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm clicking and dragging and I'm hooking it up to scale. I usually use the connection editor for this, but it seems to be working, so I'm just gonna say cool. Okay, and hooking this up to all these, scale, scale X, and I was trying to do this all in 10 minutes, and I just did it. Okay, it's done. So I'm just going to take a look and make sure I'm not lying to you, even though it's fun to lie. There it stretches, and when I rotate it, yay. Oh, there is one tragic thing I forgot to do. Okay, you notice that when I do this and I rotate it, it doesn't actually rotate these cubes down here, and that was why I put them in place, just so we could see this. If I grab the IK handle and I go in here to the IK handle, IK solver attributes, advanced twist controls, enable twist controls, and it says scene up, I want to use object rotation up, and positive X, positive Y, forward axis, okay, great. And up vector, we'll change that to 1, 1, 0, great. And we got to take world up objects, so that thing, because I hate typing, I'm just going to go over here and Control C and go back to this, and that's the second one. Screw typing, I'll put it in anyway. Just hope I'm spelling the capital letters correctly. Okay, great. There, enter, and now when I grab this thing and I do this, it twists. Oh yes, it twists. And that was just a little bit over 11 minutes. Okay, there. So there is Stretchy spine. And this one here is kind of like a la Schleifer. This is almost like a Stretchy Schleifer spine. So I'm going to stop this here.